Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to do our third set of international relations. इसके पहले already we have completed the two sets जिसमें कि हमने national current affairs and some of the most important current affairs of the states were completed. Now ये सारे के सारे current affairs are constituted of last 1 year. ठीक है, last 1 year के current affairs हैं. And today we are going to start with our third set, that is going to be the international relations. So let us start with the first question, that is the 47th session of the World Heritage Committee was held in. Now this is an important question. अगर मैं correct answer की बात करूँ तो the correct answer is Paris. Now why was this 47th session of the World Heritage Committee important? Because 47th session के बाद the 44th हेरिटेज यहाँ पे मॉन्यूमेंट मराठा मिलिट्री लैंडस्केप को डिक्लेयर किया गया था. मराठा मिलिट्री लैंडस्केप was designated the 44th heritage site in India, and it was in this 47th session of the World Heritage Committee that was held in Paris. Next है हमारा next question is, now we again have to mention the correct statement. Russia became the first country to recognize the Taliban government. Important question है. And the second statement here is New Caledonia became a state within the French Republic. So both of the given statement here are absolutely correct. यहाँ पे Russia has become the first country to recognize the Taliban government, and on the other hand New Caledonia has become a state within the French Republic. So both of these statement here are absolutely correct. Next है हमारा, we have to mention the correct statement here. Bulgaria has joined the NATO recently. Second statement है हमारा, Colombia and Uzbekistan are the new members of the New Development Bank which is headquartered in Beijing. इसका मतलब क्या है कि the New Development Bank has its headquarter in Beijing and Colombia and Uzbekistan have become the new members of the New Development Bank. Now if I talk about the answer to this question, so both of the statement that are given here are incorrect because Bulgaria has recently joined the Eurozone. बल्गेरिया ने रिसेंटली यूरोजोन ज्वाइन किया है, एंड द हेडक्वार्टर ऑफ द न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक दिस इज नॉट सिचुएटेड इन बीजिंग बट दिस इज इन शंघाई. ठीक है, सो दैट इज वाई यहाँ पे दोनों स्टेटमेंट हमारे गलत दिए हुए हैं. करेक्ट आंसर की मैं बात करूँ, सो बल्गेरिया इट बिकेम द 21st मेंबर ऑफ यूरोजोन एंड नॉट नेटो. वहाँ पे नेटो मेंशन था क्वेश्चन में. एंड द सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट इज द न्यू मेंबर्स ऑफ द न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक. So the statement is correct, but the headquarter की अगर मैं बात करूँ of the New Development Bank, that is situated in Shanghai, that is in China and not Beijing. Okay. Next है, the following acts are related to which country? So there is one country which have recently released these acts. तो कौन सी country है ये? The first act is One Big Beautiful Act, in which 1% tax will be imposed on the remittances. This is the name of the first act. Second act की मैं बात करूँ, so the name is Genius Act, which is for the legitimacy of cryptocurrency. Now these two acts have been introduced by which country? So दोनों के दोनों एक्ट यहाँ पे जो हैं वो यूएसए की गवर्नमेंट ने यहाँ पे अभी रिसेंटली ही अनाउंस किए हैं. सो दिस इज अ इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट इज, अगेन यहाँ पे हमें बताना है which of the following statement regarding the Shanghai Cooperation Organization are true. सबसे पहला तो है the headquarter is situated in Beijing, China. The second statement is HCO summit of 2025 was held in China, and China में भी बात करूँ तो Tianjin में it was held. The third one is the number of member countries of HCO is 9. Now कौन से statement यहाँ पे true है? फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड एंड थर्ड, फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड और ऑल. सो करेक्ट आंसर की मैं बात करूँ, सो ओनली द फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट रिगार्डिंग द HCO इज ट्रू. दैट इज HCO का हेडक्वार्टर बीजिंग में है, एंड HCO समिट ऑफ 2029 वाज होस्टेड इन चाइना. टोटल नंबर ऑफ मेंबर कंट्रीज जो है वो 9 नहीं है, 10 कंट्रीज हैं. ठीक है, रिसेंटली बेलारूस हैज ज्वाइंड दिस एज द 10th मेंबर. if I talk about the member countries, so India, China, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Iran, Uzbekistan, and Belarus. These are the 10 member nations of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Okay. Next is again यहाँ पे statement wise question है. So this is which of the statements are correct? WHO, that is the World Health Organization, recently announced Jordan to be the first country to be the leprosy free. Next is Suriname is the first country in the Amazon region to be malaria free. And the third statement is India has recently been declared trachoma free. So इनमें से कौन से statement हमारे correct हैं? Talking about the correct answer, all of the statement that were given are absolutely correct. Now important बात ये है, आपको ये जानना पड़ेगा कि ट्रैकोमा अभी रिसेंटली इंडिया ने ट्रैकोमा को एलिमिनेट किया है. So which type of disease is trachoma? So this is a bacterial disease and this is an particular infection of eyes. Trachoma is a particular infection of eyes. So ये हमारा यहाँ पे correct answer हो जाएगा. D is the correct answer to this question. Next है, we have to again mention the correct statement here. यहाँ पे 4 operations हैं and we have to mention कौन से operations यहाँ पे correctly matched है. First is Operation Rising Lion, in which Israel attacked on the Iran nuclear facility. Second is Operation Bunyan ul Marsus, Iran's attack on Israel. Spiderweb, Ukraine attack on Russia. And Midnight Hammer, USA attack on Iran. These are the 4 options here and हमें बताना है कौन से statement यहाँ पे correct है. So अगर मैं correct statement की बात करूँ, so Operation Rising Lion एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट है. इजराइल ने अटैक किया था ऑन ईरान्स न्यूक्लियर फैसिलिटी. कौन कौन सी साइट्स थी? नांताज, इश्फाहन एंड फॉर्डो. दीज आर द साइट्स इन यूएस इन ईरान जहाँ पे इजराइल ने अटैक लॉन्च किया था अंडर द ऑपरेशन राइजिंग लायन. नाउ ऑपरेशन बुनियाद उल मुर्सूस वाज द रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ पाकिस्तान अगेंस्ट इंडिया. पाकिस्तान का रिस्पॉन्स अगेंस्ट इंडिया. दिस वाज ऑपरेशन बुनियान उल मरसूस. तो यहाँ पे द सेकंड का जो डिस्क्रिप्शन हमारा दिया है, दिस इज नॉट करेक्ट. ओके, स्पाइडर वेब इज करेक्टली मैच, मिडनाइट हैमर इज करेक्टली मैच. सो हमारा करेक्ट हो गया 1, 3 एंड 4. सो 1, 3 एंड 4 वुड बी द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. पाकिस्तान ऑपरेशन अगेंस्ट इंडिया पोस्ट ऑपरेशन सिंदूर, दिस वाज ऑपरेशन बुनियान उल मरसूस. तो यहाँ तक क्लियर हो गया. लेट अस नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द यूनाइटेड नेशन जनरल असेंबली हैज डेजिग्नेटेड विच ईयर एज द इंटरनेशनल ईयर फॉर द वुमेन फार्मर्स. दिस इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. ये क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं. सो इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन, यहाँ पे द ईयर 2026 हैज बीन डिक्लेयर्ड एज द इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ द वुमेन फार्मर्स. नेक्स्ट देखते हैं. अगेन यहाँ पे स्टेटमेंट वाइज क्वेश्चन है. We have to mention here the correct pairs. This is related to the terrorist groups that are operating in the various part of the world. Basically ये वेस्ट एशिया के पार्ट में जो अभी प्रॉब्लम्स चल रही हैं, this is related to that one. Hezbollah is a group of Yemen. Hamas is in Egypt. Houthis are of Lebanon. So अगर यहाँ पे आपको Houthis के बारे में पता होगा कि ये रेड सी के एरिया के अराउंड ये ऑपरेट करते हैं and these Houthis are in यमन. सो यहाँ से आप थर्ड एलिमिनेट कर लोगे. ठीक है, आपको पता चल जाएगा ये बी एंड सी तो आंसर नहीं ही हो सकता. ओके, सो यहाँ पे हमास के बारे में आपको पता होगा. हमास इज इन पैलेस्टीन. सो द सेकेंड वन इज ऑल्सो नॉट करेक्टली मैच. एंड हिजबुल्ला इज इन ऑपरेटिंग इन लेबनान. सो यहाँ पे तीनों के तीनों स्टेटमेंट जो हमारे दिए हैं ना, ऑल ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट हेयर इज नॉट करेक्ट. करेक्ट आंसर की बात करूं तो हिजबुल्ला इज इन लेबनान, हमास इज इन पैलेस्टीन एंड हूथीज आर इन यमन. सो दिस इज द करेक्ट ऑर्डर. दिस इज द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. लेट्स नाउ सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 10th. नाउ अगेन वी हैव टू मेंशन द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हेयर. 150th assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. This took place in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. The theme of this 150th Assembly of Inter-Parliamentary Union. This was Parliamentary Action for Social Development and Justice. This was the theme. So correct answer की मैं बात करूं, so both of the given statement here is absolutely correct. So दोनों के दोनों statement हमारे यहाँ पे correct है. Let's now move to the next question. Again, question number 11 में we have to mention the correct statement. And yes, if you want the PDF of this, you can download the PDF from the pinned comment section. Okay. Now, next is WHO Pandemic Treaty was adopted at the 78th World Health Assembly held in Geneva. This is the first statement. Second is it is a non-binding treaty. And third is the first legally binding treaty was the Tobacco Control Treaty of 2003. So अगर यहाँ पे मैं correct statement की बात करूँ, so absolutely first statement is true. The pandemic treaty was adopted at the 78th World Health Assembly in Geneva. So this is absolutely correct. Second statement यहाँ पे not correct है because this treaty is a binding treaty. Okay, this is a binding treaty. And firstly legally binding treaty जो कि WHO ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था was the Tobacco Control Treaty of 2003. So हमारा थर्ड स्टेटमेंट यहाँ पे absolutely correct है. सेकेंड is not true. So correct answer हो जाएगा हमारा 1 and 3. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट इसलिए करेक्ट नहीं है because it is a legally binding treaty. नेक्स्ट देखते हैं. Recently which country joined the Artemis Accord established by NASA? So this is again an important question. And Artemis Accord is related to the space. ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Okay. So recently it was Bangladesh that has joined the Artemis Accord established by NASA. Okay. So Bangladesh is the correct answer to this question. Next देखते हैं. Bangladesh is the 54th country to sign the Artemis Accord. The accords are related to the space exploration. Next देखते हैं. करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट अगेन हमें मेंशन करना है यहाँ पे. पहला स्टेटमेंट हमारा यूके रिसेंटली हैंडेड ओवर द सोवरेनिटी ऑफ चैगोस आइलैंड टू मालदीव्स. दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट. सेकंड है डिएगो गार्सिया इज द लार्जेस्ट आइलैंड ऑफ मालदीव्स. ओके. नाउ अगर मैं बात करूँ यहाँ पे करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट की तो नन ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. वाई? बिकॉज अभी जो चैगोस आइलैंड थे, द चैगोस आइलैंड, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट चैगोस आइलैंड, इसकी सोवरेनिटी पहले यूनाइटेड किंगडम के पास थी एंड रिसेंटली यूके ट्रांसफर्ड दिस सोवरेनिटी ऑफ चैगोस आइलैंड टू मॉरिशियस. मॉरिशियस को ट्रांसफ़र किया था. सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट हमारा यहाँ पे गलत हो गया. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट की मैं बात करूँ, डिएगो गार्सिया, तो डिएगो गार्सिया इज द लार्जेस्ट आइलैंड ऑफ, इट इज़ द लार्जेस्ट आइलैंड ऑफ चैगोस आइलैंड. ओके. So यहाँ पे both the statement are not correct. Let us now see the next question. Bagram airfield recently seen in the news is in which country? So this is again an important question. Correct answer to this question is Afghanistan. Okay, currently बहुत ज़्यादा discussion हो रहा है in which the USA government has asked the Afghanistan government to hand over the Bagram airfield back to the USA, which is attracting very much headlines today. So that is why this is the news and आपको पता होना चाहिए कि this is in Afghanistan. Next is, in this question we have to mention which of the following countries joined as the new non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. So these are the name of the nations: Bahrain, Latvia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Liberia and Colombia. So this is again an important question regarding the non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. So अगर मैं correct answer की बात करूँ, so all of these countries, that is Bahrain, Latvia, DRC, Liberia, Colombia, all of these countries have recently been elected as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Next है question number 16. World Refugee Day is celebrated on 20th June. And the second question is World Meditation Day is celebrated on 21st December. So both of these questions are important. अगर मैं correct answer की बात करूँ, so both of the given statement here is absolutely correct because रेफ्यूजी डे सेलिब्रेट होता है 20 जून को, मेडिटेशन डे सेलिब्रेट होता है 21 दिसंबर को. सो बोथ ऑफ दीज आर एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट इज द फोर्डो, इस्फाहान एंड नांताज recently seen in the news are. So this is a very important question and यहाँ से question आ सकता है either in the UPSC examination or the UPPSC examination. So अगर मैं correct answer की बात करूँ, so this is the nuclear, these are the nuclear facilities in Iran. Now this is around these three sites that it was apprehended that Iran is carrying out its nuclear enrichment program. Okay, and that is why Israel launched the Operation Rising Lion. Israel launched the Operation Rising Lion, and on the other hand, the America or the USA launched an operation that was named the Midnight Hammer. Okay, Midnight Hammer was the name of operation that was launched by America on against Iran for curtailment of the unenriched uranium-238 that was used to make a nuclear bomb. Okay, so these are the nuclear facilities of Iran. B is going to be the correct answer to this question. Again, this is a statement wise question. Now the correct statement we have mentioned regarding the BRICS की 17th summit. Now the first statement is it was held in South Africa. The second statement is the theme was strengthening global South cooperation for a more inclusive. Third statement is partnership for elimination of socially determined disease was launched in the 17th BRICS summit. Now if I talk about the first statement, यहाँ पे the BRICS summit was not held in South Africa but it was held in Brazil. So the first statement is absolutely correct, incorrect. So first statement को अगर हम eliminate कर दें तो second and third statement हमारा यहाँ पे correct होगा. So एक और पॉइंट जो मैंने अभी थीम बताया, थीम तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ही, वो आप देख लेना. एंड इन एडिशन टू दैट अ पार्टनरशिप फॉर द एलिमिनेशन ऑफ सोशली डिटरमिन्ड डिजीज वाज लॉन्च. दिस इज आल्सो वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. सो 2 and 3 इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट की बात करूं, सो द समिट वाज नॉट हेल्ड इन साउथ अफ्रीका बट इट वाज हेल्ड इन रियो डे जेनेरियो, ब्राजील. नेक्स्ट है who joined as the 10th member of the BRICS. This is an important question. अगर मैं करेक्ट आंसर की बात करूं तो ब्रिक्स का 10th मेंबर अभी रिसेंटली इंडोनेशिया ने ज्वाइन किया है. वियतनाम की मैं बात करूं तो इट हैज़ बिकम द पार्टनर कंट्री ऑफ ब्रिक्स. एंड इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द बेलारूस स्पेसिफिकली, तो बेलारूस ने अभी SCO ज्वाइन किया है, दैट इज शंघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ठीक है, दिस Belarus is the newest member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Indonesia recently बना है BRICS का 10th member. So C is going to be the correct answer to this question. Next देखते हैं हमारा question number 20. Again this is a statement based question and in this question we have to mention the correct statement. Now पहला statement है हमारा the first Quad observer mission at sea is going to be conducted by the Navy of the Quad countries. अब Quad countries के बारे में आपको पता होगा. The name of the Quad countries, these are USA, India, Australia and Japan. These are the Quad countries. Now यहाँ पे हमसे पूछा है the first Quad observation mission at sea is going to be conducted by the Navy of the Quad countries. Second is the 10th Quad Foreign Minister meeting was held at Washington. Third is the Quad Summit of 2025 will be conducted in India. So अगर मैं बात करूँ first statement की तो this is not correct because it was this Quad observation mission was not conducted by the Navy of Quad but it was conducted by the Coast Guard of these countries. Okay, so the first statement is wrong. Second and third statement here are absolutely true. So अगर मैं बात करूं second and third statement यहाँ पे correct है. Sorry. And first statement में it is to be conducted by the Coast Guard. Next अगर मैं important thing की बात करूं तो Quad से related आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है कि यहाँ पे क्वाड ने एक इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च किया था, which was termed as the Cancer Moonshot Initiative. Okay, against the cervical cancer Moonshot Initiative. This was launched by the Quad nations. So ये भी आपसे पूछ सकते हैं. So you need to know this also. Next is question number 21. We have to mention here the first Caribbean country to accept the UPI payments. Important question है. Caribbean country की बात यहाँ पे मैं कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है. So the first Caribbean country is Trinidad and Tobago. Recently it has accepted UPI payment. अगर मैं यहाँ पे आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछूं the first European country, which one is the first European country to accept the UPI payment? This is going to be France. And if I talk about the first African country to accept the UPI payments, this is going to be Namibia. So all these facts you also need to know. Okay, यहाँ पे हमारा B is going to be the correct answer. Next है which contingent of India has been deployed to UN peacekeeping mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo. मतलब कौन सी paramilitary forces का contingent यहाँ पे डिप्लॉय किया है इंडिया ने टू द यूएन पीस कीपिंग मिशन इन द डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ कॉन्गो. सो a contingent of BSF has been recently appointed. This is an important question, so you need to know about this. Next is we have to again mention the correct statement here. The Republic of Honduras has opened a new embassy in New Delhi. This is the first statement. Second statement is Operation Sindhu was targeted to evacuate the Indian citizens from Iran. Third statement is the Philippines has announced a 10-year golden visa. So अगर इस question की मैं बात करूँ particularly, so the first and second statement here are absolutely correct. The third statement is not true because Vietnam has announced the golden visa and not the Philippines. ठीक है. So first and second हमारा सही है. Third is not correct because फिलीपींस ने नहीं, वियतनाम ने अनाउंस किया है यहाँ पे गोल्डन वीजा. नेक्स्ट इज अगेन वी हैव टू मेंशन द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हियर. नेटो सेक्रेटरीज नेम इज मार्क रुटे. एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक के प्रेसिडेंट हैं मसातो कांडा एंड न्यू चांसलर ऑफ जर्मनी इज ओलाफ शॉल्ज. सो अगर मैं बात करूं तो द थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट बिकॉज ओलाफ स्कॉल्ज को यहाँ पे रिप्लेस किया है फ्रेडरिक मर्ज ने. ओके, द रेस्ट टू डेजिग्नेशन इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्टली मेंशन दैट नेटो सेक्रेटरी इज मार्क रुटे एंड एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक प्रेसिडेंट इज मसातो कांडा. सो बोथ ऑफ दीज आर करेक्ट. थर्ड इज नॉट ट्रू. सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी 1 and 2 only. Next is we have to mention the correct statement. पनामा की मैं बात करूं तो पनामा इज द फर्स्ट लैटिन अमेरिका कंट्री टू एग्जिट द बेल्ट एंड रोड इनिशिएटिव ऑफ चाइना. दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट देखते हैं. हवाई इज द फर्स्ट अमेरिकन स्टेट टू इम्पोज एन क्लाइमेट इम्पैक्ट फी. वी हैव एंड द थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज द M23 rebel group. This belong to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now talking about the correct statement in this question, यहाँ पे फर्स्ट, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड all the statements are true and all the statements are very very important. So D is going to be the correct answer to this question. Next is again, this is a statement based question. We have to mention the correct statement here. The first statement is Zhu Ziai is the new president of the Asian Infrastructure Bank, Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank. Second is Lawrence Wong is the Prime Minister of Singapore. एंड द थर्ड स्टेटमेंट की मैं बात करूं तो अलेक्जेंडर लुकाशेंको इज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ बेलारूस. ऑल दी स्टेटमेंट्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, आपको पता होने चाहिए. करेक्ट आंसर की मैं बात करूं सो ऑल ऑफ द गिवन स्टेटमेंट हियर आर करेक्ट. AIB has appointed new president, that is why this is important. Lawrence Wong has recently visited India, so that is why this name becomes important. And because Belarus and Russia has conducted a joint and one of the largest army drill, so that is why the president of Belarus is in news. So all of the given statement here are absolutely correct. Next is again we have to mention here the correct statement. Namibia has become the first African country to sign a country partnership framework with the International Solar Alliance. This is the first statement. Second is Myanmar will host the 6th BIMSTEC summit. Now, talking about the first statement, now if I talk about the correct answer, the first statement is absolutely correct because this is not Namibia, but this is Mauritius, who has become the first country to sign a partnership framework with International Solar Alliance. So the first statement is incorrect. The second statement is true. Now, the 6th BIMSTEC summit, it will be hosted by the Myanmar. So 27 की अगर मैं बात करूँ, sorry, the 6th BIMSTEC of this year is conducted by Thailand. The next year's is going to be done by Myanmar. Okay, so none will be the correct answer. Now, talking about the theme of the 6th BIMSTEC summit that was held in Thailand was prosperous, resilient, and open BIMSTEC. Now, initiatives such as Trust, Indus Innovation, Asia, these are related to India and which countries? So basically the question is asking about that these initiatives were started between India and which country. So if I talk about the correct answer to this question, USA is the correct answer. So the initiatives like Trust, Indus Innovation, Asia, they are related to India and USA. Again, we have to mention here the correct statement. Now, India was re-elected to the United Nations Peace Building Commission for the 2025-26. This is the first statement. The second statement is UN peacekeepers are called the white helmets. This is the second statement. Now, if I talk about the correct answer here, so only the first statement is true, that the India was re-elected to the United Nations Peace Building Commission for 25-26. The second statement here is not true because the UN peacekeepers, these are called the blue helmets. These are called the blue helmets and not white helmets. So only the first statement here is correct. Now this is question number 30. We have to tell the correct statement here. Shambhu S. Kumaran is India's permanent representative to the United Nations. This is the first statement. India has chaired the 68th session of the Commission on Narcotic Drugs. This is the second statement. And the headquarters of United Nations Organization on Drugs is in Geneva. These are the three statements. Now talking about the correct answer, only the first and second statement is true. That is, Shambhu S. Kumaran is the India's permanent representative to the UN. This is the correct statement. Second statement here is also correct, but the third statement is not correct because this headquarter of UNODC is in Vienna, Austria. Okay, so only the first and second statement here are true. Next is, again we have to mention the correct statement here. The 21st Asian India Summit was held in Vientiane in Laos, and the second statement is East Asia Summit was also organized at the same place, that is Laos. Okay, talking about the correct answer, so both of the statement here are absolutely correct. 21st Asian Indian Summit, this was held in Laos, and East Asia Summit was also held in Laos. So this is an important question, आपको पता होना चाहिए. Next is question number 32. The Global Biofuel Alliance, whose headquarters will be established in New Delhi, was initiated during. So Global Biofuel Alliance, this is very much important. Global Biofuel Alliance. So this was initiated during the G20 summit in India, 18th G20 summit in India, and this Global Biofuel Alliance was initiated by Brazil only. Okay, so this was initiated during the G20 summit. Next, again, this is a statement based question. The Quad Summit of 2024 was held in Wilmington, USA, with the members India, USA, Japan, and Australia. Absolutely correct statement. Second, the squad countries include USA, Japan, Australia and Philippines. तो जैसे there is a quad grouping ना, similarly a new grouping was also in news. That is the squad. So this includes USA, Japan, Australia and Philippines. So both the statement here are correct. Do note that the Quad Summit of 2024 was held in USA, but the Quad Summit of the year 2025, this is going to be held in India only. Okay. So as of this question is said, both the statement here are correct. Now let us see the next question. Now this is about the Globe network. The Globe network recently seen in news is related to what? So talking about the Globe network, this is an anti-corruption body and this is under the Ministry of Home Affairs in India. Okay, this is an anti-corruption body and it will work under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So A is going to be the correct answer to this question. Next is the first India Gulf Cooperation Council ministerial meeting was held at. So this is a very important question. ये question पूछ सकते हैं आपको एग्जाम में. So the first India Gulf Cooperation Council meeting was held in Riyadh. So A is the correct answer. Next is the third Voice of Global South Summit. It was held at. Again, this is an important question. So the third Voice of Global South Summit, it was held in India only. Next question is the highest civilian honor, the Order of the Most Ancient Welwitschia Mirabilis is of which country? Now, if I tell you about this highest civilian honor was given by the given to the Prime Minister of India. That is why it becomes important. So this is the highest civilian honor of Namibia. Okay. Next is question number 38. We have to again mention the correct statement. The chairman India is the chairman of the Indian Ocean Rim Association for the year 2025 to 27. This is the first statement. Next is the BIMSTEC Youth Summit of 2025 was held in New Delhi. Now, if I talk about particularly this question, the first statement here is absolutely correct. But the second statement is not true because this BIMSTEC Youth Summit, this happened in Gandhinagar. It happened in Gandhinagar. So only the second statement here is incorrect. Only the first statement here is true because the youth summit was conducted at Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Next देखते हैं. The AI Action Summit was hosted in Paris. Which countries were the chair and the co-chair respectively? So this AI Action Summit, the chair was it was conducted in Paris. The chair was France and the co-chair was India. So A is going to be the correct answer to this question. Next is which two countries recently became the BRICS partner country in 2025? Now when I was telling you about the BRICS summit recently, I already told you that Vietnam has recently become a partner country. So अगर आपने वहाँ पे ध्यान दिया होगा so आप ये समझ गए होंगे कि this Vietnam and Nigeria यहाँ पे only would be the correct answer. So if I talk about the recently BRICS partner countries, so Nigeria and Vietnam are the latest and the recent members. Okay. Now next is India-UK trade agreement was signed on 24th July 2025. This is the first statement. And we have to mention the not correct statement here. Second is Ghana launched a climate resilient wheat initiative. This is the second statement. And PM Modi received the highest civilian honor of Brazil, Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. So these are the three statements. We have to mention which of these statements are not correct. Now if I talk about the not correct statement, तो यहाँ पे एक भी statement not correct नहीं है. Okay, all of the given statement here is correct. So the not correct statement का आंसर यहाँ पे none ही होगा because all of the statements are correct. Next is which country pay tribute to Biju Patnaik by unveiling a memorial plaque at its embassy. So बीजू पटनायक को अभी रिसेंटली मेमोरियल प्लेक इनका इनॉग्रेट किया गया है इन द रशियन एम्बेसी इन द इंडिया. सो द करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी रशिया. Okay, again we have to mention the correct statement. The first BIMSTEC business summit was conducted in New Delhi and the Maitri grants were given by the Japanese government. So these are the two questions. अगर मैं बात करूं यहाँ पे correct answer की, तो only the first statement is true, the second statement is not correct because these Maitri grants were given by the government of Australia. Okay, so only the first statement here is true, second statement is not correct. So only the A would be the correct answer to this question. Next है question number 44. Which country has recently announced the exit from UNESCO from December 31st, 2026? And this is important. तो यूनेस्को को रिसेंटली एग्जिट किया है यूएसए ने. ओके, इससे पहले यूएसए हैज ऑलरेडी एग्जिटेड WHO. ओके, next is question number 45. Again we have to mention the correct pairs. Now this is regarding to the places in news. Places in news से related है ये. Now the first is Abu Mina is in Libya. Old town of Ghadames is in Egypt. Third है, and we have to mention which of the statements here is correct. So यहाँ पे दोनों के दोनों statement incorrect है because the options has been reversed. It means that this Abu Mina, this is in Egypt, and the old town of Ghadames, this is in Libya. Okay. Now next is Convoy exercise 3 recently seen in news is related to what? This is the largest nuclear exercise, satellite placed on a low earth orbit, China and Mongolia military exercise, or the world's largest telescope to be stationed at Hawaii. So Convoy X3 की मैं बात करूं, so this is the largest nuclear exercise that was recently conducted in Romania. ठीक है, रोमानिया में IEAE प्लस रोमानियन गवर्नमेंट ने लार्जेस्ट एक्सरसाइज यहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस किया था. सो A is going to be the correct answer to this question. Next है question number 47. Again we have to mention here the correct statement. Mauritius recently accepted the agreement on fisheries by the WTO. And the second statement is Director General of WTO is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So if I talk about the correct statement here, only the second statement is true. Mauritius has not accepted the agreement of fisheries by WTO. So किसने accept किया है? निकारागुआ ने accept किया है. अगर मैं WTO की बात करूं, so it was established in the year 1995 and it replaced the GATT rules. Okay. Next is, again we have to mention here the correct statement. पहला statement है Malaysia and UAE are the president of the UN Habitat General Assembly. Recently appoint हुए हैं, जो कि absolutely correct है. And there are 20 specialized agencies within the UN system. Second statement here is not true because there are not 20 but 15 specialized agencies within the UN system. So only the first statement here is correct. Next है the C-192 recently seen in news is related to what? Now C-192 की मैं बात करूं, so this is a protection against the biological hazard and it is also known as the Convention 192. Okay, so D is going to be the correct answer. So let us now see the question number 50, which is also the last question. Now which country overtook Japan to become the world's largest creditor nation? Now recently जापान को यहाँ पे ओवरटेक किया है जर्मनी ने टू बिकम द लार्जेस्ट क्रेडिटर कंट्री. नाउ सेट 3 हमारा यहीं पे एंड होता है. सेट 4 which constitutes of international relations and summits conferences, this we will do in the next lecture. वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो अगर आपको तो वीडियो को लाइक ज़रूर करना, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लेना है if the content is helpful to you. Okay, so thank you for watching this video and keep studying.